Well, Kentucky got another millionaire today. That's right, Emmanuel Quickly declared and stayed in the NBA draft. It is time for Wildcat Sports Talk. We've got Matthew Brooks down below. We've got Tim Brandstetter right there. And you are listening right now to in tonight. Make sure that you share this video everywhere. Wildcat Sports Talk is live on YouTube, Facebook. We are also on iTunes, iHeart, and Spotify. Justin Walden, Matt Brooks, you are loved, sir. You
yes,
are absolutely
sir. What's
loved.
up, Justin? Guys, he's a Florida fan, so let's roast him real quick.
Oh, Florida fan. Man, nobody likes Gators, man.
Yeah,
Nobody.
No.
That's a joke.
Hey,
that is a joke.
Hey, guys, I'm excited. I always say this every show. I'm excited for tonight's show, but I'm pumped up, guys. I'm ready to go. Big show, Wildcat Sports Talk. Hey, guys, this is going to be a good one, man. We're going to start off. We're going to bring you Matthew Brooks, and he's our man. He's ready. He's got some exciting things to talk about. Hey, we got Duce Williams, former Kentucky football player from the early 90s. Duce Williams is going to join us today, guys. This is going to be awesome, and we're going to follow that up with Andrew Taylor, a boy from Corbin, Kentucky, starting point guard for Marshall University. Proud of that kid. I know him personally. He grew up with my son. Can't wait to talk to him and check in on him. We're so proud of him, guys. And then we're going to close out the show tonight with a special segment, Adam and Matthew. Special segment, guys. Kicking it with Chance. I'm pumped up about that too, brother.
Kicking it with Chance, man. That is going to be great. And, yeah, I'm excited. So, we didn't really talk a whole lot about that format, Tim. Is that something that he's just going to kind of jump on and do, or are we going to
man, this is every Monday at 7:00, Kicking It with Chance, and he's going to surprise us. Now, he's not going to have a guest every show, but he will surprise us randomly with teammates that he's going to interview for us.
Oh, my goodness.
It's going to be awesome.
Oh, yeah. Hey, if you're not excited about that,
pumped up, baby. Let's go.
Turn in your big blue card if you're not excited about that, and just go ahead and quit.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, I know he played. First of all, I know he played with Benny. So, like, I mean, maybe Benny would be cool and do it with him. Who knows, right?
Hey, let me tell you what. This Chance is awesome,
and he definitely played with Lynn Bowden.
Oh yeah, I mean he's got some pretty high profile friends and teammates. I'll tell you that. I mean,
yeah.
My goodness, man. I mean. Anybody on that Kentucky football team right now has played with some really special players, and Chance is young, but I still think Chance is going to be one of those special guys for us.
Man, Big Blue Nation is coming in hot tonight, folks. Thank you for all those views out there, man. It is rocking and rolling.
Let's go.
Let's
Big Blue.
do it.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
What do you think, Matthew? They don't hear the word.
I know we're getting there, boys. Let's go. Get pumped up.
All right, Matthew.
Matthew,
hey,
what do you got for us, man?
This
is it.
Baby?
Well, man, let's talk a little bit about that transfer we just got in. Devin Mintz. Guys, listen, he is going to add some great play to our guard lineup for the next season. He comes in, he shoots the ball about 40%, which is just about half of his shots are going in. Guys, I'm telling you what, he's going to bring a lot to the table here at Kentucky, because whenever you have him lined up with some of the guys that we have staying and some of the guys that we have coming in, he's going to add a lot to our team, and I'm really excited to watch him. So a little bit of that. Let's talk about some of the guys that have declared to move on to the NBA. Guys, now listen, I'll be honest with you quickly. I think he's ready to go because, I mean, he is about as high as he's going to get in his draft stock. He had a great year here at Kentucky for us, but I feel like he is ready to move on and take that step to the NBA. So that's my look on him. Now, guys, something that's pumping me up, and especially with the guy being on the borderline, Nick Richards has still not said anything about what he wants to do. Now, guys, if Nick Richards returns, I'm calling it right now. We will be the 2021 national champions. And I'm telling you that with a full-on head of steam, because if you add Nick Richards for his senior year, comes back to Kentucky's and played with that guard play, he is going to be unstoppable, and I really hope that he comes back. Now, E.J. Montgomery.
Hey, Matthew, listen, I hate to burst your bubble on this, but Nick Richards ain't coming back, okay? So anyway, that said,
you gotta have hope. You gotta have hope, baby.
Hold your thoughts for a moment, because we have the man, the myth, the legend right here, man. He is ready to jump in for us. It is Duce Williams. Duce, how are you?
What's up, guys?
Deuce.
How's everybody?
Hey,
what's happening?
Hey, what's up, Deuce?
Not too much. How y'all doing?
Good.
How you doing?
Hey, we're excited to have you on the show, man. I mean, Kentucky legend, brother. I mean, we've been talking to you a while. I know you've been getting on here and you've been following the show a little bit and commenting. And, man, it makes us so happy, when we get former Wildcats on the show. But I couldn't wait to bring you on, man, and just see how things are going with you now.
Man, I appreciate it, man. I've been following the show now for a few weeks, and I really like what you guys are doing. And Tim, I know we've talked back and forth for a few weeks. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Hey, you're very welcome, man. I'll tell you what, Deuce, I know without a doubt, I mean, I saw your Facebook page that you're still a big Kentucky fan and you follow the team and you support the Cats. Let's jump right into it, Deuce, and tell me what brought you to Kentucky. How did that happen?
Man, it's kind of weird. I'm from Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh, a suburb of Pittsburgh. And, I really, my dream was to go play at Penn State. A lot of people won't want to hear that from Kentucky, but I did. I was a guy. I didn't really want to go to Pitt. I wanted to get away, and Penn State was the dream. But unfortunately, Penn State at that time wasn't interested in me. And it's crazy how it happened. But an offensive coordinator named Jerry Eisman was coaching at Kentucky, and his brother was actually one of my teachers at Bethel Park High School. His brother made a phone call and said, "Hey, Jerry, you better send somebody up here to recruit this guy." And they did. And long and hold, here I am in Kentucky.
Hey, Deuce, I've got to say this, man. Thank God for unanswered prayers is what I got to say, because Big Blue Nation's glad that we got you, brother.
Man, I'm so glad. I was listening to a little piece of Marty Moore and I and a couple of other teammates spoke back in the summer to the team, and I was listening to that the other day, trying to share some wisdom with my daughter, both my daughters actually. And as part of that, I heard him say, Marty said, there was no better place I could have chosen to go to school. He had a lot of other schools that were interested in him, but he chose Kentucky, and I feel the same way. There was no better school for me, and what an awesome university, and to be able to play in front of the Big Blue Nation, and it was just a great experience.
Man, we hear a lot of that, Deuce. We've talked to a lot of former players, and they've always got really good things to say about the Big Blue Nation. Is there something, Deuce, that sticks out to you as a favorite memory, something that was just really special while you were at UK?
There's a couple. One that sticks out more than anything else was the 1989 class. I was part of the 1989 class and had a bunch of good teammates. I still stay in touch with a lot of those, but that group was special. And at that time, we weren't quite as talented as a whole team as the team is now, right? But what we did do is we stuck it out. Some of us for 4 years. I was there 5. I redshirted. I was there 5 years and got a chance to play in the Peach Bowl in 1993. And that was the kind of the top of the heap now, right? We're Kentucky's striving for a lot more. They want to win the SEC championship. But back in that time, we wanted to go to a bowl game. And so that was probably one of my best memories.
Well, man, I tell you what, you're one of those guys that paved the way, and started that, showing that we could go to bowl games. Hey, Adam, what have you got for Deuce, man?
Man, listen, big fan. I honestly, it's anytime we get any former players on, one of my questions that I always ask is kind of go over your time at Kentucky. You know, tell us about the fans, tell us about the fandom, and just how it. I mean, listen, as you well know, what the football team is now. I mean, it's building to something just awesome. But I mean, when you played, I mean, we had some formidable years there. So, kind of tell us about how Big Blue Nation always was backing you, and how you were able to feel that passion.
Yeah, you know, and I believe that there's no better fan than Kentucky fans. And again, as I mentioned to you, you know, our record didn't always reflect the talent that we had on, and we had a lot of talent. Let me just say that right up front. We just weren't as deep as the team is right now. So we had a lot of people that could really play, and the fans, win or loss, they always showed up. The stadium was always full. You could count on that. It was a great environment. And we played the best. I mean, I'm just looking back at it, and when you get a chance to play against people like Charlie Garner and Garrison Hurst, and I could go on and on against the people that I had the opportunity to play against. What more could you ask for? Great fan base and the best football in America.
Hey, Duce, was there some guys that you played with at Kentucky that kind of stood out to you like, wow, this guy's amazing? You know what I mean? Whenever you got there and you saw some guys, who were some of those guys that you just thought were really, really good football players?
Man, we had so many. There really, really was. But to name a few, I don't know, there was Kirk Johnson, Mo Williams, Terry Samuels, Marty Moore. I mean, Dean Wells. I mean, I can continue to go on.
Yeah, it's a long list.
You know, Jeff Brady, who played multiple years in the NFL. I mean, there was just Kentucky has always had a lot of talent. I mean, really good football players. Again, it just, you know, we didn't have the depth that they have right now. We always had the support of the fans and the money and all that. It was just us being able to recruit against everybody else that we had to recruit against. It was hard for us to put the depth together, but I couldn't be any prouder of Coach Stoops and his staff and what they've done for for the state of Kentucky and to bring football back to the top level that it is now. Like I'm proud to be an ex-UK football player, no doubt about it.
Hey, Duce, I want to ask you one more question for you, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the current team and the situation that's going on. But I always like to ask this: have you got a behind-the-scenes story, anything that kind of sticks out to you that a lot of people don't know about? Maybe something that you hanging out with some other players or something that happened in practice, because a lot of former players have got some kind of interesting or funny story that we've never heard.
Oh man, I don't know. I'm sure I do. I'm sure there were some really good ones. Some I might not want to share. There's a bunch of those that I probably wouldn't want to put on there. But here's what's most important, guys, is that the camaraderie that we had. When I think about it, when we used to have something called Dawn Patrol. And Dawn Patrol, you'd have to get up at 5:30, but Dawn Patrol started at 6:00. And really the goal of that whole thing, as I look back on it, was how could they figure out a way to break us down to build us up, right? And so they spent a lot of time out there pushing us to places that a lot of us wouldn't have gone on our own, right? We just wouldn't have done that. And they pushed us there. And what I'm proud about is that we all did it together, right? We succeeded together. We failed together. If we didn't make it and we had to go back out and do 3-a-days, I mean, all that stuff and that camaraderie that you build kind of set the stage for success in the rest of our life. And that's important because you only play football for 4 or 5 years in college, and then that's over for a lot of us, those that are unfortunate enough to go on and play in the NFL.
Hey, that's awesome, dude. I was going to say, I'm going to let we've got a youngster on our show here, Matthew Brooks. He's a college kid, really good football mind, and he loves the Wildcats. And I wanted to let him have the opportunity to ask you a question.
Yeah, sure. Hey, Matthew.
Hey, man, what's up?
How you doing, man?
Doing good, thanks. I got a question. I'll combine them real quick. Every football player has one team they love to play, And who is that team for you? And then my other question is, and every football player kind of has a pregame routine. Could you kind of go in depth with yours and what you did to get prepared for a football game and stuff like that?
Yeah, I'll give you both of them. There's two teams really, so I'm gonna expand on it. Florida Gators and the Tennessee Vols. I hated both of them, and I love to play them.
Well, we still hate them.
We
still
still
hate them. So I mean, never changed.
Yeah, Tennessee. I'll have to say this: they stomped on us every year that I played. But Florida, we played them close. Played them 1991. They actually that's the year that they got their went to the Sugar Bowl, and they. Long story short, I'll give you a condensed version, but they were beating us pretty bad. And as a matter of fact, Spurrier ran a play. He ran the quarterback out. Rolled to one way, and he threw the ball to a receiver, and then he kind of leaked to the left, and they threw the ball down the field, and the guy walked in the end zone. And it was kind of embarrassing. They were beating us, probably 4 touchdowns. And I remember coming in the locker room and being pretty upset about it, and a lot of people were. And we came back, and they were talented that year. We made a run at them, and they ended up beating us by, 9 points or something like that. But they knew that they were in the ball game. And then the second one was 1993. Everybody remembers that game. We had 7 turnovers, and they threw a touchdown pass to beat us. I think they were ranked in the top 5 or top 10 in the country to beat us with 13 seconds left. So those two would be the experiences that stick out. And then my ritual. So I did have a ritual, and I always listen to music before a game. And I always listened to Earth, Wind, and Fire. And I don't know why it was Earth, Wind, and Fire, but that was just my thing. And I kind of got my mind ready to go and play. And one ritual that I'm not very proud of, but is something that if you talk to any of my teammates or any of my family members, they'll tell you, is that I had a very unusual way of getting ready for a game. And it was natural. It wasn't I was forcing myself, but before every game, and this is every game that I ever played in college, and most of the time through high school, I got sick before. I had to I vomited, just to be frank about it, and it was just out of nerves and to tell myself it's time to play. Like it's game time. It's time to go make it happen, and that was just part of my ritual.
That's awesome. Yeah, we still, like we said, we still hate Florida and Tennessee, so we have something in common right there.
Yeah, man,
hey, I wanted you to elaborate a little bit on that Florida win from a year before last, and how much it meant to you. Because, me being 34 years old, man, it was the first time I'd ever seen it happen. Yep. So, and I know a lot of former Kentucky football players probably feel the same way, in that it meant a whole lot finally going down there and getting that monkey off our back.
Man, to me, it was kind of like it was closing the door, right? It was, and I had the privilege to watch it in my basement where I am now with my family. And truthfully, inside, it really made me warm because, it's not easy to go to any opposing stadium to play and win. But when you have that 1993 loss, haunt you the way it haunted me for all those years, to see those guys close the deal and do it, I couldn't be any prouder of them. To bone up and be able to go down there and do it. I thought that was fantastic.
One more thing, real quick, and then I'll then whatever Tim's got. But I wanted to ask you to kind of elaborate on the future of the program and see where you think it's headed. And I mean, I hear nothing but positive, and I assume you probably feel the same way.
At this point, and this is where Coach Stoops is at, and I've been around the coaches and the players. They want to win. They want to win the championship. They want to win the East, and we have enough talent. We have the facilities and the players to do it. So, my expectation at this point is that we compete for the East every year, and if we're not competing for the East, then it's just not good enough. And Kentucky football is just that good. And so, again, I'm proud of those guys, the coaches, the players, and all the new players that are thinking about coming. Go Big Blue. Let's make it happen.
Sir.
Hey, Duce, man, I know you played on the defensive side of the ball, so I'm sure that's kind of a special to you. You know how good Kentucky's defense has been under Stoops. Are there some guys out there that have reminded you a little bit of yourself, or that that you enjoy watching play?
Well, I mean, each player's to each is their own, and the thing about it is there's a lot of players out there over the years that have really done well on the defensive side of the ball, and not to single anybody out, because there's, it's hard to try to come up with individuals when there's been so much talent. But I'm impressed. Think about this. We had the best defensive player in the nation voted here in the last couple of years. One of the best offensive players to play here, just and Lynn Bolden was phenomenal. And just look at all the talent that's gone through Kentucky over the last 20 years. I know why people are so proud of Kentucky, right? Look at the players that come through here and what Coach Stoops is doing to develop these guys. Because when you start thinking about our defensive end that now plays for Jacksonville, he's a 2-star player. He comes here, Coach Stoops develops him, and now he wins the defensive rookie of the year. I mean, that says it all.
Hey, man, I couldn't say it no better. I love the fact that, we could use that as a recruiting tool. just what you just said. I mean, because, that's what players want to hear, and that's what Stoops does. Man, I just want to thank you again for coming on the show. It's a pleasure. It's a big pleasure having you. And I hope, man, that you continue to come back and check in with us, and we can have you on a lot more.
Man, guys, I appreciate y'all having me, and I'll come back anytime. Just let me know. Maybe we'll talk shop when we get to playing football and we get everybody safe. Everybody stay safe at home, as the governor says, and we'll talk to you soon.
Hey, sir. Thank you, Duce.
Go Big Blue.
Hey, I'm sending you out with some Earth, Wind, and Fire, Duce.
My man.
Hey, don't run through that wall.
Take care, guys.
See you, brother.
Bye-bye.
How awesome is that, guys?
Yes, sir.
It don't get no better.
Man. Listen, guys, Adam, thank you, man. You know how much I love football and get former players, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. Well, we Tim, that was all Tim, buddy. He did all that.
Tim.
So.
Hey, man, I was impressed myself on that one. But you know what? I really didn't do much, because what's awesome is, guys, it's about the show, Wildcat Sports Talk. It's about Big Blue Nation. It's about how many people get on here and watch the show and share the show. And you know what? These players, man, they feel the love. They feel the love, from our followers. They see how many followers we got. They see the interaction, where people are commenting and asking questions, and they want to be on the show, man. And it's just a blast. It's a blast. And you know what? Duce is a cool dude, man. He's a cool guy.
Listen, something I really enjoyed was players of the past are really loving what's going on here at Kentucky with football.
Yes.
And like you said to him, he was one of those pavers. He was one of those that started that run for us. So that's awesome to get guys like him on the show.
Yep.
All right. We got to do a quick commercial break, Tim.
All right, guys.
So we'll be back in 30 seconds.
Have you been in an accident and need legal help? Contact Gambrell & Wilder Attorneys at Law. They remind you to drive safe and arrive alive. They're located at 115 Virginia Avenue in Pineville, Kentucky. Just give them a call, 606-337-5015. Truck or car, wreck injuries, work injuries, they've got you covered. 606-337-5015. You can find them online at GambrellWilderLaw.com.
That's right.
Welcome back.
In.
Welcome back, Big Blue Nation. Yeah.
What your life can truly be.
Well, man, we're having a good time on here, Adam.
That's right. We're learning the whole new the whole format and everything. So it's been awesome.
I like that new background, Adam. That's nice, man.
I do
That's
too.
awesome.
I do too. I like it a lot, and I judging by the amount of viewers, they like it too. So. Make sure, by the way, if you're watching this, to get it out everywhere. Share it all over the place. If you don't like the page and follow the page, you're really doing yourself a huge disservice. So you might want to do that and get that done. Also, head on over to iHeartRadio and check us out there. Found out we are a top 5 Kentucky podcast. Believe that. Since we've been on iHeart, we are ranked in the top 5. There's 10, so that's not like there's 5 of 5. You know, we're there's 10 of them, and we're in the top 5. So check that out. Again, Wildcat Sports Talk on iHeartRadio as well as Spotify. Matthew, we had to cut you off there for a second, but Nick Richards, man.
He's coming back.
I don't think it's happening, Matthew. I really don't. And here's why. Because Emmanuel Quickly leaving was all I needed to know that Nick Richards is gone. And the reason I say that is because, like, I honestly think, and I told you this off the air earlier, Tim, that I think Ashton Hagen's leaving set the tone for the rest of the guys to leave. I think had he not, we would have had a good, strong possibility. Like if Ashton Hagens had stayed and just transferred somewhere else, that actually probably would have been better than him going to the draft.
Well, here's my. Go ahead, Tim. Go ahead, Tim.
I was just going to say. I was just going to say the guy that you talked about earlier, Matthew, the grad transfer, Davian. He that might have been a little bit of a hint to us right there. Whenever we got him, that Quickly was going to be going.
Well, listen, this is my thing on what you just said, Adam. I think the reason Hagens left. Listen, Hagens was a great ball player, but I think he knows what's coming into Kentucky. And listen, I don't know how well he would stand out with these guys coming in. So maybe he felt like this was his best chance to go on. So here's the thing, though. I think if Nick Richards stays, he'll start over any of those guys we're bringing in.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Listen, I don't know if Hagens would have. So maybe that's why Hagens went on and went to the NBA. That's a good
point. Hey, Adam, that's a good point, man. I mean, Hagens ain't promised nothing if he comes back.
But I think Richards is. And here's the thing. I think EJ, the reason his dad's maybe doing all this is he feels like what's coming back and what's coming is going to hurt EJ. But for Nick Richards, if he stays, he's going to play and he's going to build that draft stock. So that's where I kind of stand with it. So,
hey, Adam. Our next guest has not got on yet, has he?
No, we're not on yet, okay. So we're just kind of waiting for that.
Well, if you want me to, if I can step away for a second, and I just want to make sure that he's good because I think he sent me a question.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Well, me and Matthew will talk more. But Matthew, honestly, man, I wanted to talk to you a minute about next year's, well, hopefully this year's coming up football team. I am really. I'm hoping that it happens. Like my fingers are crossed for this. And we talk about this every once in a while, but honestly, I mean, how excited are you about some of the positions that are returning? I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be. I mean, I think they're going to be loaded in all aspects. But if you had to pick the weakest spot, what would you think it would be?
If I had to pick the weakest spot. Man, if I had to pick, I think it'd be on the offensive side of the ball. And here's why. Because we're returning a lot of defensive people.
We are.
I know.
But you know the old adage, defense wins games.
Yeah, and here's the thing. That's going to be so – here's what we don't realize, too. We brought in a lot of freshman defensive players last year, and a majority of them got the red shirt. So these guys that wasn't playing last year, they got a lot of experience from being on that team. So I think our defense side of the ball is going to be okay. If it's me, I think our receiving core, if that's just me, is going to be our weakest thing. But the reason I say that is because we're going to have a lot of returning running backs. We get Terry Wilson back, and our O-line will be, I think, as good and a lot of, if not better than what it was this year. It was great this year. Don't get me lied. Big Blue Wall was probably one of the best line in the SEC. I'd give it to them. I mean, give me an O-line that a team knew they was running the ball and still couldn't stop it. So if it was me, I think the receiving core is going to be the weakest link for us. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with him is, or the thing with our offense is that there's so much unknown. Yeah. Really about how it's going to, because we only got a chance to see how good it could possibly be.
Yeah.
But
well,
it's.
I remember you guys getting into me about Terry about a week ago about how I said there's going to be some competition there. Give me another year where we've had some quarterbacks that are actually going to be fighting for something. So, like, how many quarterbacks we ever had that's going to be the same talent level? So that's going to be something I'm really looking forward to. So,
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
so.
Tim, I'll let you bring in our next guest.
All right, Big Blue Nation, I'm excited about this one. This one is big time for me because I know this guy personally. It's Andrew Taylor. He plays basketball for Marshall University. He's from Corbin, Kentucky. And Andrew, man, welcome to the show, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Hey, we're doing great, man. Hey, we're needless to say, we're all proud of you, man. We've all been cheering you on. We've been watching you, your career since, grade school, middle school, a lot of us in high school. And I'm just happy to see you doing good, Andrew. For you guys that are just tuning in and you guys that don't know, Andrew played for the Corbin Red Hounds. Andrew, correct me if I'm wrong. I think you were 13th Regional Player of the Year about three times or something like that. But a lot of accolades for Matthew Taylor, around the area in the 13th region. And, Matthew, you're a red shirt freshman this year. You were a red shirt freshman this year, right?
Yes, I was a red shirt, and Matthew's my brother, by the way. But
I'm sorry, Andrew. I don't know where Andrew Taylor. Man, I do that all the time. I always do that.
You're gonna have to look at the screen. I think it says my name right here.
Okay, let me see.
Tim can't read. We're sorry.
You know what's funny, Andrew, is I'm the guy that knows you, and I get your name wrong.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys. Hey, guys, listen. Andrew Taylor's a heck of a basketball player, if not the best one I've ever seen in person, on the floor at the same time, watching or coaching against this kid. And he grew up with my son, and I couldn't be more proud of Andrew and what he's done. Andrew, man, tell us what it's like playing for Marshall University, man.
Oh, the experience is crazy. This just something you look up to as a kid, and you're like, dang, like I want to play on TV. I want to play against these dudes. I grew up personally watching Kentucky, and obviously, everybody wants to play for Kentucky, Duke, North Carolina. But I fell in at Marshall, and I haven't looked back. It's been a great experience. We get to play against. I had to sit out the first 9 games this year, so I didn't get to play against Florida and Notre Dame and those teams. But this next year, I'll be in there with the top dogs, and I get to go toe to toe with them. So
now, Andrew, I know you've made all freshman team and in your conference and done a lot of good things. And have you been a little bit surprised at your success so fast?
Surprise would be an understatement. As a freshman at this level, it's a roller coaster. You'll have a span of games where everything's going good. You think you finally got it figured out, then the next 3 or 4 games would be complete crap. You just got to keep moving forward. It's just the everyday battle for yourself, I guess. As long as you can make it through your freshman year. And I was pretty surprised at the all freshman team, but with the amount of the work that I put in, I think I deserved it.
Well, that's another thing I was going to ask you, Andrew. What kind of work have you put in to get to where you are? I know growing up you played basketball nonstop. You played on a lot of really competitive AAU teams, some nationally ranked teams. And I know that your parents put you in the position, to play against the best talent you could find. But outside of that, individual work, how hard have you worked to get to where you're at?
I guess that part would be different for everybody, but I try to look up to people like Kobe and LeBron James and them, and just anything you could do. Obviously, I'm not a 6'8" dude who can jump up and dunk it whenever I want to. So I gotta focus on other areas, and that includes being in the best shape, lifting weights every day, getting on the track, running a few miles, and then obviously getting on the court and getting repetitions as much as you can. And just not necessarily just going out there and doing it mindlessly, but doing every rep as hard as you can, just with somewhat intensity.
Hey, Andrew, tell us about your teammates and what kind of talent you've got around you. And were you a little bit, even though, like I said, you grew up playing against the best talent around, when you got to Marshall, were you a little bit like, man, these dudes can play?
We definitely have a really, really solid program, especially – I don't know if anybody knows this, but we have 0 seniors on this year's team. So we get every single player back. And yeah, just playing with those dudes, it not only elevates the team, but it elevates yourself. You know, you're going against those dudes every day in practice, you know, 1-on-1 drills, 5-on-0, whatever it is. But like I said, it elevates yourself, elevates the team. This next year, we're not losing anybody, so I like to take a couple steps forward as a whole program.
Hey, Matthew, I don't know. Andrew, I don't know if you know Matthew Brooks. I think you do. He's from North Laurel. Matthew, what have you got for Andrew, man?
Man, I always remember watching you at Corbin all those years during the region tournament, all of that. Like, it's like you flipped the switch when it came to that. But one of my questions for you is, like, you was always a dominant player in the 13th region. How was that transition from high school ball? And then for you, you went to Marshall, which is a really developed D1 program. So, like, how was that transition? Like, how was that for you? Like, what was it like? Just
Yeah. I mean, from playing against dudes in the 13th region and playing against them at the D1 level is completely different, to be honest with you. Obviously, everybody knows that.
Yeah.
But I guess just the confidence part of it is, you know, whenever I walk into that Marshall arena, I'm like I can really hoop. Like, I've been doing this. Like, I've done it, you know, my whole life. Like, I just got to go out here and play like I'm playing against these dudes in high school. And if you just have that mindset and just do everything you can do, like, I mean, it helps. I would say, even though the level of competition in the 13th region wasn't as good, it definitely allowed me to get repetitions and just get that, you know, mental stability that, you know, it's confident.
Yeah,
hey, Andrew, I gotta ask you this, Andrew. I'm a big fan of the movie We Are Marshall. I think a lot of people love that movie, and I have to bring it up, man. I mean, whenever I see your uniform and I keep up with you, I gotta ask you, what's that, Adam?
Tim, you ruined me, man. What?
Did I take your question?
You stole my thunder, man.
Well, dude, everybody wants to know about Marshall. Well, We Are Marshall.
I know, but you weren't saying it until you
That's funny.
You
can't
did that
count
on
me
purpose.
out, Adam. I've done this for a long
did that
time.
on purpose. He ruined it for me, Andrew.
Well, Andrew, from me and Adam, what was it like? I know you've watched the movie and then being on campus, and is it kind of cool?
Yeah, they got a memorial right on campus every year. I know the football team does a lot with it, obviously, but just every year people honor and respect that. And, you know, you got these older dudes who come to every practice, every game. Like, that really means so much. It means so much more to them because, I mean, most of them were here when it happened. So, like, just to be able to play for that reason, that just gives Marshall an edge, I would say. Just being able to play for something more than yourself.
Okay,
So,
Adam, go.
Awesome.
I got a question for you. Being at the college level and being where you are, if there was one team that you could play against, doesn't matter who it is, who is it going to be?
Kentucky.
Yeah, there we go.
I
knew he was going to say that.
Hey,
Yeah.
now, Andrew, you are a Kentucky Wildcat fan, right? Growing up.
I was growing up. You know, I'm kind of more. You got 5 in, 5 out now, so it's hard to even know who's on the team now. I mean, older time.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
But I mean, I don't know. I guess I have a little chip on my shoulder because they didn't recruit me. If you want to be honest with you, I think that's why because you know I grew up here. I love Kentucky basketball. No disrespect to them. No, I want to play them. Why not? So
right. Hey, Andrew,
1.5 up the road.
Hey, I remember the last Kentucky kid that had a chip on his shoulder because they didn't recruit him was Chris Lofton, and he had a lot of success when he played against the Cats.
Yeah, he had Tennessee. He had Tennessee going crazy.
Let me ask you this, and this is, you know, you can answer this however you want to. If Kentucky had offered you a chance to come and basically be a Dominique Hawkins or a Derek Willis kind of role, would you have taken it?
If I didn't have as many options as I did, maybe.
Yeah.
I think maybe if they would have given me like preferred walk on or something like that, gave me a little, you know, some money. And plus, I was an in-state kid, so it probably wouldn't have been as much money for me in the first place. But I don't know if I didn't have all those options. That's a really tough question actually, because you know.
It is. And I don't mean to hit you like that, but what I'm trying to illustrate here, Tim, is, man, don't you feel like, guys, that Cal needs to offer these guys more?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think we all agree, man. We're all big Blue fans. I mean, this show's a Wildcat Sports Talk, and we bleed blue. You know, we have our whole lives, and we support the coach and stuff. But I don't think anybody will deny the fact that we want to see more Kentucky kids on the roster. I mean, it's just a fact. And I don't want to hear that crap about we don't have the talent, because we do. I mean, Andrew Taylor is proof that we've got the talent. I can promise you this. If Andrew matches up against UK, he's going to give them their money's worth. I promise you that.
Well, anyway, I was gonna knock it. I was gonna knock at a few players, Andrew, but I can't do that. So
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't knock Cal for it. If you can get the best players, you get the best players. You know, like, it's obviously worked out for him. So I'm not gonna.
Well, I think there's a lot that goes into it too, Andrew. I mean, whenever you can grab a guy because he's a McDonald's All-American, or you can grab a guy because you've seen his heart and determination, and you see how bad he wants to be there. You know, I mean,
you
there's a lot
would play for the name on your jersey, and that's, I guess, what Tim is illustrating is that you play, and whether you're at Marshall or whether you're at Corbin or whether you would be at Kentucky, you play for that name. I mean,
that's what I was going to say. Give me an in-state player that comes to Kentucky and hates it. They don't. They're there for the passion of the school. So.
Yeah,
but I do want to say this though, guys. We're a Wildcat Sports Talk show, but we've got Andrew on here, you know, because he is a Kentucky boy. I mean, he grew up here in Kentucky, and man, whether you play for Kentucky or not, Andrew, man, I am just following your career. You know that. You know my son Dawson. You remember playing with Dawson, and yeah, you guys were good friends. I mean, spent the night together, and man, it's just awesome seeing you succeed, man, how you have. And I know me and Dawson, we watch you, we keep up with your career. Can you tell us something that happened this first season at Marshall that sticks out like one of your favorite memories?
Favorite memory? Whew.
I know you had some big games.
My third game back, scored 27 on Northern Iowa. That's probably my favorite memory. That was just like, you know, like, that was kind of a wake up call for me. Like, man, like this is real. Like, did
that give you the confidence that you needed to say, "Hey, I belong here"?
Yeah, it felt amazing. Just, you know, it's crazy how years of hard work can translate to, you know, 40 minutes.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
and that feeling is just incredible. You know, I wish everybody could feel it. You know, if everybody put in the work.
That's awesome, man. And so you're really happy there at Marshall, and looking forward to next season.
Yeah, it's next year is gonna be, you know, it could be one of the best teams we've ever had if everybody does their job.
Hey, I got a question, Andrew. I have to ask it. All right, so when you went to play in the region, did the student sections ever affect you at all? I had to see if my work paid off at all.
Did you ask if they ever got to me?
Yeah, I did. I'm not gonna lie. Any team that came into North Florida, I was trying to get at their best player. So obviously, I was trying to get at you. So did it ever affect you at all? So I had to ask.
Dude, I had somebody asking me that the other day. I don't remember who it was, but I never really heard much. Actually, it was my dad. My dad always asked if I could hear him in the stands.
Yeah.
I don't hear him.
I had to ask. That's why.
This is about all I hear, but, you know, specific words and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I had to ask that.
South Florida student section a couple years ago. That was the real deal.
South Florida, yeah, they see, that's what was awesome about it. Not North students wouldn't come out, but South, man, they filled those sections. That was awesome.
Yeah, the thing is though, is like Corbin is hated by South Laurel.
Yeah,
I mean, absolutely. I mean, that's just like that's a rivalry. So
yeah.
I mean, it's probably a worse rivalry than South and North. Oddly enough.
Yeah, I'd say it is. They hate each other. They hate each other pretty bad.
I'd say it not around, just depending on who the best teams are.
Yeah.
Year, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, Andrew, do you have a story for us, man, about when you got to Marshall and you had to prove yourself in practice to these dudes that's been there? You know, they see this little guy come in from Kentucky, you know, and they're like, you know what I mean? I know you got to prove yourself. So have you got any kind of story when you had an exchange with anybody, or the way they treated you, or the time that they stepped back and said, okay, this kid can play?
I'm just going to speak as a whole group. I'm not really going to throw any names out there because, you know, I respect you. But, I mean, I'm not going to lie. They probably thought I was pretty trash when I first got there. You know, a little scrawny dude walking in there. it's supposed to be this next big thing for this program. Obviously, some dudes are gonna just blow it off their shoulder. Some people are gonna be talking, but it took a few weeks. I'm not gonna lie. I had to grind. Coming off about a year of not playing, it was tough. I was at that point, my redshirt year, I was playing against some really good dudes in practice. I was having to guard dudes like John Elmore and CJ Burks, who are now playing professional overseas. Rondell Watson. They're all pros now. So I was having to guard those dudes every day. But I feel like by the end of my redshirt season, I definitely earned their respect. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I wish we had a reality show where we could have watched that. That would have been great TV. I know, man. Because it didn't only happen there at Marshall. It happened when you traveled around playing AAU ball. Guys would think, hey, I'm going to get up and guard this guy. I'm going to take the ball from him. And then they soon realized, hey, I better back off a little bit.
Yeah. It's all part of it, I guess.
So, man, you got anything else for us today, Andrew? What do you say for those people back at home in Corbin, around the Tri-County area that follow you and keep up with you? What do you say to those guys, man?
Oh, I appreciate it. Everybody who's been with me knows I've been through a lot, and everybody who's stood with me, I appreciate that. I mean that to the heart, because I don't get to get on social media and see everything. All the thank yous and everything, everybody watching me, but I really do appreciate it. At the end of the day, that's one of the things I do it for, and I'm going to keep going for as long as I can for my family, my friends, and for the whole community.
Hey, man, that's awesome. We're going to be cheering you on, Andrew, and I just want to say, man, whenever you get in the season and when you get busy, don't get too busy for us, because I want to bring you back on the show and update how you're doing, man. Yeah,
you'll have to bring me on before the season next year or something. I might be able to put different teammates to come on here with me.
Now that would be awesome, man. That'll be awesome. We appreciate it, Andrew. Good luck to you, man. Thanks for coming on the show.
All right, thank you, guys.
All right, guys. I think we need to do one more quick break out of here, and then we'll be right back in 30 seconds.
Don't go away, guys.
You're listening to Wildcat Sports Talk.
Have you been in an accident? Need legal help? Contact Gambrell & Wilder Attorneys at Law. They remind you to drive safe and arrive alive. They're located at 115 Virginia Avenue in Pineville, Kentucky. Just give them a call, 606-337-5015. Truck or car, wreck injuries, work injuries, they've got you covered. 606-337-5015. You can find them online at GambrellWilderLaw.com.
40 Ollie, Debbie know me. Imagine if I never met the broskies. God's plan.
What's up?
Matthew's
Adam,
singing it on the way back, man. Yeah.
You gotta love it.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, of course. Can you hear me?
I can't hear nothing.
Of course you can't. It's always Tim. It's always Tim that can't hear anybody. What about now? Of course. Can you hear me, Matthew?
I can hear you. Can you hear me, Adam?
I can hear you now.
Can you hear? Okay, well.
Adam, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Adam, can you hear me? No, I'm kidding. I'm just.
Look at that. We go to commercial break. We had technical difficulties.
It's always the case, man, because it's always you. So,
Hey, it's not me, man. Hey, I will say this. Man, that was awesome talking to Andrew Taylor, man. I'm so proud of that kid. Right out of Corbin, man, and playing for Marshall and, all freshman team. Dude, it's good to see these local kids, man.
Yeah.
Go somewhere and fit in and and have some success, man. I appreciate him coming on the show. That was awesome.
So a couple of
go ahead, Adam.
No, man, go ahead with your thought, because I'm getting ready to non-sports it up for a few minutes.
Okay, well, I had to ask him that question because, man, I used to give people down the road over there in that student section, and for him to say it didn't bother him, it kind of upsets me a little bit.
Yeah, so I wanted to actually send any and all of our condolences out. First of all, to Carl Anthony Towns and his mother and that family. That's such a sad situation.
The news came out today that Karl Anthony Towns' mom passed away of COVID-19, and it's just that's terrible. Folks, this thing is real, and whether you want to, not believe it or what, it is. And I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life, but maybe paying attention and staying home, that's probably your best bet, right now. But
yeah, Adam, man, we've heard a lot of sad stories coming out with the coronavirus, and it hit Big Blue Nation right there. And I know we're all thinking about Karl Anthony Towns and his family, man. It's like you said, it's real, it's for real, and I just hope that it starts getting better, man, because that's a sad, very sad situation, man. It's pretty rough. It's hard to put it into words,
The other part, too, is on our Facebook page, we have kind of a script, and we need you guys to make some videos for us. I'm putting together a promo, so if you'll go over on our Facebook page and look at the script on what we want you to say, I'm going to put something together, and it's going to be really, really cool. So if you could do that for us, that would be really great. The other part, too, is last night, and I don't know how y'all fared down there, but, man, the storms across the South were unbelievable, man. It went from way down in Mississippi all the way up through, I think Chattanooga was ravaged last night with storms. I looked at some pictures even there in Barberville, and man, the court square was, I mean, my goodness, there was brick off the building down there. I mean, it was really, really rough, bad winds. So if you were affected by that, again, hope everything goes well for you. And you recover quickly. Again, it's all about the Big Blue Nation getting behind everyone in times of turmoil, because that's the time we're in right now, folks. It's tough. It's not easy. Again, it's hard on all of us right now, because we're all just kind of stuck at home and not able to get out and see our loved ones. So I just kind of wanted to get those couple of things out of the way before the end of the show, because we only got just a few minutes left. But last minute thoughts, Matthew, go ahead.
Man, listen, guys, like he was saying, we pray for all those people that the storm affected, and also just pray for the people that are affected by the COVID-19 and all that. So just let God just do his work. So he has a plan behind everything. So we'll get through this. So everybody stay home, stay safe. Go Cats.
What you got, Tim?
Hey, guys, I just want to make sure to remind everybody that coming up as soon as we get done here at 7 o'clock, we're not even going to take a break. We're not going to cut off. At 7 o'clock, we're going to have Chance Poore on, Kentucky football kicker, man, UK kicker Chance Poore. And, guys, this is the first episode. It's going to be brand new, Kicking It with Chance. I'm excited about it. It's awesome. But I do want to thank everybody for coming on, guys. I want to thank Duce Williams. I want to thank Andrew Taylor. Man, just another great show. The shows keep getting better and better and better. But you know what makes these shows possible, guys? It's you guys. It's you guys that are watching, you followers, Big Blue Nation. We love you guys. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you guys watching and sharing. And if you haven't shared already, go ahead and share this so we can give all of our guests some love. And I just appreciate you guys, man. And hopefully Chance will get on here soon, and we'll get ready for his first episode of Kicking It with Chance.
Yeah, for sure, man. Really, really, really excited about that. And hopefully he can jump in here before too long, and we can get it done.
If you want me to get off here and remind him, I can do that. Adam, you can take over for a minute.
Yeah. And really, I mean, is this going to be kind of? Are we just gonna? Are we gonna turn him loose? Or are we gonna?
No. We're going to stay on there. It's a Wildcat Sports Talk. But we just want to let him have the spotlight. Let him control the segment. Maybe me and you can be on the side, but we're just going to let him kind of do his thing. He can talk to us. He's gonna host the segment. Let's just say that.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. So guys, make sure that you are sharing this video everywhere you can, because Kicking It with Chance is coming up here in just a few. Tim is going to check out there for just a few minutes and do that. I don't know what guests he may have on, Matthew. So
I'm excited. Now, do you want me to stay on, or do you want me to?
Well, it depends because we can only have so many on at once, and if he has a couple that he wants, then
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't know. But we'll for the moment you can stay on. But yeah, man. Did y'all get any bad storms down where you were?
Honestly, man, I'm a heavy sleeper. I didn't hear nothing, but no damage around my house or anything like that. But like you said, Barville got hit pretty good. But other than that, I haven't heard nothing around me or anything.
Right.
So,
right.
What about you all up there?
A lot of wind, a lot of rain, a lot of thunder.
Yeah.
The usual. But anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight to Wildcat Sports Talk. We're on YouTube, Facebook, iTunes, iHeart, and Spotify. See how quick I said that?
You're getting it there.
I know, man. I know. So yeah, we really do appreciate you guys tuning in and being a part of the show. It's always awesome to see a lot of people on, and the big thing is we want you to participate. So make sure you're commenting. Make sure you're talking to us and letting us know exactly how you feel about certain things, or any questions that you've got for certain players, or anything you want to get out to Chance for the show tonight. Because again, at least until the season starts, and I don't know what'll happen after that, but we've got Chance every Monday at 7:00. We've got the kicker from Kentucky, folks. I mean, that's huge. I mean, I don't know how what more you could ask for out of a show that's going to bring you in-depth, personal and experience from someone who is inside the program at 7:00 on Monday nights every single week. I mean, that's awesome. So we're going to bring that to you. That's going to be part of what we do. Again, every Monday night at 7 is Kicking It with Chance. So make sure that you are checking it out every Monday night. Matthew.
So
let's talk about our North Laurel days, man.
Okay.
So yours are probably different than mine because I was there a little before you, not too far, right?
Yeah.
But I remember, in particular, a couple of games at least that were big for me. And it's always, obviously north and south. But I remember a couple of times that we would travel, and it would get pretty crazy, and one of which was a time in Somerset. Did you all ever go over to Somerset to watch a game?
Was Somerset in you guys' region at that point?
Yeah, they were. So that's probably why.
Yeah, they wasn't ours when I was there.
Now, was Pulaski in your region?
They were in our district, but not like football. See, basketball or baseball, they wasn't.
Yeah. So. Well, I'm gonna put you backstage. All right, Matthew, and I'm going to go ahead and bring on the man of this hour. We are really excited about this, folks. Give it up for UK kicker Chance Poore. Chance, what is up, man?
What is up, guys?
What's up, Chance?
I love it. Love having you on. And it's absolutely a pleasure having you on at 7:00.
I can't hear him, Adam. I can't hear him, Adam.
Can you hear me now?
Maybe he can hear you now. Can you hear him now?
I can hear you guys.
Yes, I can hear you good. Hey, Chance, man, I know we talked about this, and I am stoked about it, man. Kicking it with Chance. This is going to be fun, man. Are you excited about this?
I love it. Get a little talk around with the BBN and get a little inside, a little personal one-on-one. Now, it don't have to be nothing but football. It can be anything.
That's right, man.
So
it's your time, Chance. Whatever you want to do, brother.
Let's go.
Yeah, man. This is all you. So you tell us right now. What do you want to talk about tonight? I mean, there's a lot going on in the world. So,
hey, I will talk about probably the transition from living on my own to back in my parents' house. That is probably the weirdest transition. And I get that I'm still a kid. I'm only 20 years old, but that is just I went from freedom, cooking my own food, paying my own bills, to now waking up to my mother waking me up at 8 a.m. And I'm like, wow, I'm back in high school again. You know, this is just so weird because like I did everything on my own. And, you know, I never had to call them for anything. I had Kentucky athletics helped me get everything straight and everything down. And now I'm just like back home and like I feel like I'm back in high school, man. It's just weird. I can't make it up. Like I feel like I'm actually waking up, about to get in my car, go to school for about 4 hours, but not wake up and go, oh man, I'm about to do school online again. Zoom, here we go.
So I got to do this real quick. I got to give you this proper intro, okay? So here we go. All right, you ready?
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Kicking It with Chance on Wildcat Sports Talk.
That's nice.
Yeah. So there you go.
That's pretty good.
It don't get better than that, Chance.
That's pretty good. I like that.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh my goodness. Oh.
So what do you want to talk about besides that, Chance? Just go right into it. Hey, we're just listening, man. You ask us questions. I mean, you tell us what's going on, and just take it over, man, and we'll get this rolling.
I will say the biggest transition is practicing now. So, like, as you can tell, everything is I don't know in the state of Kentucky, but in the state of South Carolina, we are strictly only to go get essentials, anything necessary to, live off of groceries, stuff like that, or going to work. And technically, I'm not even allowed to leave the house unless I'm working or going to get food, So I have to find a place to go, just practice, kick on my own. And every high school's closed down. I get in trouble to do that. So I'm going to, like, civic centers and stuff like that don't even have uprights, and I'm kicking at trees and like telephone poles and stuff like that. And like it sounds good, and the next thing you know, my three balls are all scuffed up hitting the pole or like just hitting the side of the ground or something like that. And I'm like, by this time, like my balls are already like scuffed up, so now I need to go find some, but no stores are open or anything, so like there's no gym either to work out. So we're doing all body weight workouts. So, like, I feel like I don't know what to do anymore. I'm kind of losing my mind trying to figure out things like to the same lifestyle.
That's wow. I mean, the thing about it is there's a lot to be said for that. I mean, even as someone, I just work, but I come home every night. But even the transition of being at home now all the time is ridiculous. Like it's tough. Like even for me. So I can't imagine like you were living the college life. You're at home. You're in Lexington. You're getting ready for an awesome season. Heck, Saturday we would have seen you. Saturday we would have seen you on the field.
Yeah, I woke up that morning and I go, dang, it's crazy. I went from waking up, practicing in the morning, eating a meal right after, going straight to my noon class, and wouldn't be done till 4 or 5 o'clock today. Do a little bit of homework and then watch a little TV and be done around 8. To now I'm waking up waking up at 8. Like I just do it. My body wakes me up for no reason. I could sleep in till noon if I want, but I got to do something. I wake up and I'm like, I got to find something to do. I'll work with my dad. I'll just go run or I got to find something to do. And my body's just like trained to do that. I can't even sleep in. I tried to stay up late one night and I still woke up at around 8, 9 o'clock. I slept into 9 o'clock one day and I thought I was late to something. And I had nothing to do.
Hey, do you play any Fortnite?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So we're going to play, right?
Oh, you can? Oh, yeah. The name is gamer tag is CC Breezy 864. Got my area code from my South Carolina.
Right. Mine is Radio Adam. So I know you probably get a million people that try to add you.
So I'm writing it down right now.
Okay.
He better add mine so we can play some too.
CC Breezy, right? So is it BR?
EEZY.
All right. And it's 84?
No, 864.
864.
From the upstate. Clemson area. If I say Anderson, people ask me, where are you from again?
Hey, mine's easy to remember. It's Matt Brooks 4, capital M and B.
Bet. I'm not going to lie. I'm actually pretty good.
Well, good. You can carry me to a dub.
That's right. That's good.
Well, when you have all the time in the world, that's all you can do. And
yeah, that's right.
Especially at my age.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
all
Well,
I do. I spent like 6 hours playing yesterday.
I'm a big gamer, so we can definitely. If you got Call of Duty, by the way, I'm.
Oh, good. Yeah, Warzone, definitely.
Yes. Okay. Good. We're gonna play some games then.
I tell you what, guys, I'll have to let my son take over for me on that because I'm a little too old. I'm a little too old for the games. I don't feel like I'm that old. I mean, 44 is not that old, but I mean, I played NCAA football and basketball growing up and those kind of games. And but anyway, I don't play games anymore. I'm kind of a mature man, but I'll have to Adam, Matt, Chance. I'll let my son get on there and play with you guys. His name's Dawson. I'll get his info.
Let's go.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You got PS4, right? Or you got a?
Yes, PS4.
All right, good.
Okay.
There we go.
All right, that'll work. Yeah, we've. I've got. For whatever reason, I have got them all. So like I decided I couldn't not have certain games. So like I just decided to get every system so I could have them all. So
Chance, let's ask this question. How bad do you want college football back?
Dude, I am actually scared right now because I have no idea what's going to happen in the future, And like you just look around at news right now and the only thing you see on any news channel, I've never turned on the news and said, "Oh, it's a beautiful day. It's a great day. Someone did that." It's always bad news.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of seeing that. But like, I guess that gets views. People only care when something goes wrong, sadly, in this world. But it's tough because I don't know if what's going on. They're talking about rumors of like limiting games, the only conference, and you saw what happened with the March Madness and all that, and I'm scared it's going to keep going because it's only like what 3-4 months away.
Wow.
It's coming.
We're getting to a deadline where we probably won't be able to play, and I'm scared. I do not want that.
So let me ask you, and you don't.
I'll be a 6-year. Let's go.
I know, I know this is your segment here, but I got one question. This is really important. And you don't even have to answer this unless you just know. What would be the absolute latest that they could start this and start the process of practicing?
Oh goodness. We're playing it by ear right now, but like the only thing I would think that we could start practicing again is like a miracle happens like randomly, so vaccine happens or something like that, or stuff gets better. But, the earliest I think would probably be maybe a month or two before the game, and I think the NCAA should allow us to have like a little bit of extra time. They'll probably do that. And if they don't, they have their reasons, keep us safe. They have their reason for anything. They don't just make up something. I used to think that, but they don't just make it up to go with it. They have reasoning behind it. But we'll definitely probably have a fall camp if there's a season. But, it all depends on how this works out. And I'm scared to death of literally being stuck in this house for a full year. I do not want to do that. And I hope it gets better. I hope we find, to help other people. I hope we get back to our normal lives. But, until that happens, I can't say anything.
So Chance, how hard is your dad working you?
He ain't working me hard enough, I'll tell you that. I will say
good.
this. Putting in landscape and irrigation is very different from kicking a football. I
do landscaping.
I might have the strongest back in the SEC as a kicker by the time I'm done. I will say that.
Funny.
Hey, good training, man. That's really good training for you.
You ever try to kick the rock into the landscaping? It's good.
Yeah. I wouldn't do that. I've done barefoot kicking, but I wouldn't kick a rock. I think that's not a smart decision that you can think of that. But I'm in trenches all day. I'm in I'm digging up holes for like 3 feet. Sometimes we'll even hit a main, and guess who has to get in the mud water up to his knees? That's me. That's my job. And that's just the boss man walking around supervising. I'm the one that gets dirty a little bit. So I'll come home and I'm like flat covered in dried up mud up to my neck, or not to my neck, but like you can see sweat, dirt, and everything. But like other than that, it's a huge transition from being literally just working out, school, football. Literally a month later, I'm back home working and putting in irrigation lines, valves, and stuff like that. It's just, I still can't believe how my life has drastically changed in a matter of like a couple of weeks.
Hey, Chance,
I got a topic for you that
I'm sorry, Adam. I was just going to ask one more quick thing about football, and then you can go on, Adam. And but anyway, a lot of people will talk about kickers. The big thing is they've got a big leg, and they do this and that, and how far. And I can see people write about it, and I can ask your dad about it or whatever. But just coming straight from you, how much range do you think you have? You can sink a field goal. How far do you think you can go out there and go? You know what? If everything goes right, I know that I can put this through.
A lot of people don't think about this. They think, he hit a 65. He should hit a 65 now. It's like, man, every day is different, and you have to go out there, So first thing you do is you got to think the weather conditions automatically. Change the ball hit, velocity, all that crap, scientific stuff going into it. But, you just got to play it by ear on that day. One day you might not be hitting the ball that well, and then one day you are. So on a given day, on a great day, I'm feeling good from 60 and in. Ideally, will we go for a 60-yarder? No, probably not, unless it's a guaranteed, we need it, But on a day, it's cold, rainy, not so much of a good weather conditions, you might want to limit yourself to 45, maybe 50 and in, So it's really, you play it by ear in the day of how you're doing and what the weather's doing.
But a lot of times you'll hear when the weather's pretty and it's nice and there's not a big wind and, it's just a normal plain day, you'll hear a lot of announcers be like, well, he's good from 48, 45, 49, whatever. Where do you feel like that is for you on just a plain day, where the coaches would feel comfortable trying?
I think a 55 and in, ideally, when
that's
50
big
to 55, you start going, it's a gamble, you go out there and it's like we could go for it, or if we're back far enough, we could probably pin them, but do we take a chance on this, and that's a game time decision. So
right.
I believe I'm good around 50, 55, somewhere around.
Hey, that's awesome, man.
You
can't ask for no better than that.
I'll tell you a funny fact real quick. We didn't have a kicker my senior year of high school, so they had to let me kick, and they gave me a little boot. I just straight on kicked it. That was funny.
So that actually leads me into something here that I've always wondered, and this is a great topic because this is your segment, so this is perfect for this. I can't think of a better person to ask this. So, can you explain to people like me who are idiots about the position?
Easy. Don't talk bad about you like that. That's self-confidence. It's going out.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, so when there is a time that you get to a certain range where you can probably get one in. What is the difference between, say, sending you out there to kick it in, or let's say you're at your own 35 and you send out the field goal kicker to line it up and put it through the uprights? Could that happen, and why couldn't it happen? Because the logic behind that to me would be the kickoff kicker could kick it far, right? Does that make sense? Or you know what I mean? What's the difference between a kickoff kicker and a field goal kicker?
Oh my God, Chance don't even have to say anything.
I
His
get what
face
you're
is
trying
saying
to
it
say,
all.
but that's probably not the best analogy or whatever you're trying to compare. But the difference is, in collegiate sports of football, you kick off the ground, and when on a field goal, and on kickoff, obviously you have a tee. And a lot of people don't realize when you're on the ground, there's less margin of error. So in high school, when you use a tee, it's very easy. A lot of guys are actually pretty good. You can get a lot of soccer players to go out there and, kick pretty good, pretty high, good straight balls, stuff like that. Well, when you're on the ground, there's less margin of error. So the big difference is that tee that they have, and plus the run up, and the timing. So on a field goal, you got about 1.2 to 3 seconds to get a ball off. So you can't be 10 yards behind You go, all right, snap it when I'm like 3 yards to you, and I'm going to be about 80% of me running at you. And then you put it down. Like, no, that's not going to happen. Now, if we're right here, I'm like, all right, our best chance is just hit a 65-yarder. I would just tell my kicker, but hey, you just swing as hard as you can and hope it goes. You never know. You might hit a Happy Gilmore shot, wind up there and just run and then sprint and then boom, gone. Maybe it happens. But that's the difference, honestly.
Yeah, so I know that seems like a dumb question, but I really like for people like me, we've always wondered, like you sit there and you go, man, so if you've got a guy that can kick off and get it into the back of the end zone from like the 25-yard line,
yeah,
in a desperation kind of situation, what's holding them from just saying, you know what, just go out and whale it and hope for the best?
Now, I will say this. This is one thing that many people forget about this. So there is a free kick in football. And for anyone listening and they're looking at me going, why is this man talking about soccer? It's a legit rule. Look it up. I learned this in high school when my high school coach gave me a little, little words to me when I was asking him, what are we doing? Because he looked at me like I was dumb. So apparently when the opposing team punts a ball and you call a fair catch, you have the option to hit a free kick, which is the kickoff team can go out there and wherever the ball was fair caught, you have a free shot. It's a free kick. No one can rush you, and you can take as many steps as you want. So, like, ideally, if a opposing team punted the ball and we fair caught it on our own 40, we can call a free kick. 1 second left, tie game, you can call a free kick, and you send your kickoff guy out there. No one can get the ball. No one can touch it or anything unless you kick it short. So that's like a legitimate chance of you going out there. So the best thing I would say in that situation would be, they punt the ball and you got 1 second on the clock and you fair caught it, call a free kick. What are the odds, And a lot of people don't know that.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. That's the first thing I heard that.
We were about to run in high school, and I'm not going to lie, that was probably the weirdest thing of going out in the field, and it was just me. The kickoff team didn't go. He just said, you just go out there, and it's just a single person on the field, and they're like, the defense is like, what are we doing? They're lining up in a formation like 4-3 or something because they just see me, and the referee's like, no, you have to back up 15 yards or 10 yards, and I'm like, they're all going, what's going on, or crap like this. And then he's like, all right, forget this. We'll just take a knee at the half. Because I was like, well, what are we doing? Like, I did not know what was happening in the middle of a high school game. And my coach sent me out there to do that. And turns out he explained it to me, and I looked it up. And sure enough, it's actual rule. And I looked at some videos on YouTube. And you can look up, NFL free kicks. And there'll be legit things of that. And there are people taking, like, kickoff steps and stuff like that. And that's just a unique thing I like about.
So what are you saying? Like, if you hit it, you get 3 points?
Yeah, you'll get 3 points. Now, if you miss it short, the kickoff return team, it's like a legit kickoff and kickoff return team. If you miss it short, they can take it back for a chance for a touchdown.
But you'd be the only one on the field, right?
Well, no, it's a whole kickoff team and a whole kickoff return. But my coach only sent me. He said, "You're good. We'll just stand right here on the sideline. That way we're not near you." And I was like, "What? What are we doing?"
That's crazy. That is crazy.
That is awesome, though.
Has Mark Stoops ever said they're going to do that?
No.
That will never.
The whole world of
would go crazy.
Would be going, what are they doing in the state of Kentucky? They would look at me and going like, what's going on?
But you would love to do it, right?
They're paying the refs. That's what they'll say. They're paying the refs. There's no field goal unit out there. They have to pay the refs. That's what they'll be saying. TV watching.
Hey, Chance, how cool would it be, though? Would that not be cool, Chance? To do
that would be kind of cool, but the whole crowd would go, what are we doing? How do we get through
that? Well, you know what? If it happens and I'm sitting in the stands, like I told you last time, Section 2, Row 5, if I'm sitting in the stands, I'm going to look around and I'm going to go, look, he's already explained this to me. And I'll tell you what's happening right now is this.
I mean, the likelihood of that actually happening, I mean, you could look it up. Like, look in the past years, when's the last time you ever saw that?
Yeah.
I think the recent one was back in, like, early 2000s when I watched it on YouTube. That's about it. And that was, like, a preseason game, maybe, of NFL. But That would be kind of cool to do that. But, about half of Kroger Field is cheering for something. They just cheer for the 3 points. They don't know what the hell happened. They're just like, good stuff.
It's good.
Yeah. Why'd they kick the ball off? They just punted the ball. They had no idea what was going on.
Come on, Eddie Graham. What are you doing?
That's great.
Yeah, that's what they would say. They would
Come on, Eddie.
Like that.
Yeah, that's great. Well, Chance, we're gonna shut up and let you kind of do this for a few minutes. Just what else anything else you want to mention to people and talk about tonight, and then we can get you out of here and get ready for next week, because we love doing this. We want you on every week. This is great.
Yeah, this is awesome, man. Just go ahead and take
Give me a
over.
little time to prepare. I thought y'all were going to ask me questions this time, but now that I know this, I'm going to prepare a couple things. But ideally, what can I talk
And you're
about?
welcome to bring on any guest you want, by the way.
Oh, I'm thinking about bringing Max on. I talked to him a little bit, and he said he would have to find some time to do it. But I guarantee he's going to.
Max definitely would be awesome.
I'll talk a little bit about our group as a special teams unit. So, or the kickers themselves. We are a different breed, if you ask me. I think we are one of the most athletic, most intelligent group on the team, honestly. If you give us a task, we can do it. Anything. It could be any sport. It could be any, assignment, anything. I think the specialists can do anything. And now we are a weirder group. We got a 28-year-old Australian on our side. So I guess experience comes. And I mean, he's from a different world, and he still brings his beliefs, and it's kind of weird talking to him sometimes, because he'll say he spells some things different and he says some things different. So we always get on him about it. He'll spell defense with a C or the S or something like that. Or sometimes a C, sometimes a S, and we'll just get on him a little bit about that. So it's really our group is a weird group, but we're pretty good together. We're probably the most athletic. Now the team's probably gonna get on me for saying that. Ideally, we're not going to beat everyone out there in their own position groups. But if we had what Max put on Instagram about the Hunger Games, I think the specialists as a group could survive that, honestly. Out of everyone in that group, I think we are strategically the best. Athletically, we can do it. And I think we could work the best as a group, honestly. Against the whole country, too.
I'll be honest with you, Chance. I think you probably, and I'm not just saying this because you're on here, but I think you probably have the hardest position on the field.
Yes.
I mean, really.
Yeah. I wouldn't say the hardest, physically. I would say the hardest probably mentally.
Yes, that's what I mean.
And,
the most pressure.
A lot of people don't know this because, out there, people just watch a game. And for about 2-3 hours, they're watching the game. I'm doing it too, I get about, we'll go out there. I think the most time I've ever had on a field in one college game was probably maybe 30 seconds. Maybe.
And the rest of the game you're watching?
Life was probably a minute.
That's crazy.
Of the actual clock running. And the actual clock running of me stepping on the field and stepping off, maybe 30 seconds to a minute. And the whole game is going on for 2-3 hours. And after one kick, you're sitting down for 10 minutes. You can't just run around, stand up, keep kicking, because you're going to be there for 3-4 hours, depending on the game. And, the kicker will go in about 4 or 5 times a game. And you can't mess up. You can't do that, because people only remember that 1 or 2 times of the screw up you have. And mentally, that is the hardest position out there. And I say it's the strongest of mental game, because I just can't explain it. You can't explain the situation you're in until you're in it, and you can't experience it until you're in it.
So how are your coaches, Chance? How do they, say you miss a field goal, how do your coaches handle that? Do they let you just be alone, or do they like to talk to you? How good are they about that?
They give us space. They're good about it. If it's just a simple miss, they'll come up, pat you on the back, be like, hey, don't worry about it. Get the next one. And we're pretty good with it. The whole team is, they don't really mess. You hit a good ball, you make it, they'll come give you a pat on the back. Yeah, good stuff, man. You miss a ball, and then they'll come, hey, man, you got the next one, go. So we're all pretty positive on the sideline. And even when we have a bad play on offense, defense, special teams, or anything, we won't look at it as a negative way. We'll look at it as a positive way. Like, hey, what did we do wrong here? What can we do to get better? Because in that situation, I get it now because it's a simple thing to do. Approaching it negatively could just make it worse, drastically throughout the game. But approaching it positively, trying to find what can we fix, what can we do better, it helps out a lot, gains more confidence. It gets the whole group going. Personally, in my position, it gets me to get back out there and, hit the next ball better instead of just going out there going, hey, man, what are you doing? That's just the worst thing to do to any person on your team. So positive reinforcement.
That's good, man. That's awesome. You always wonder if there's coaches being hard on guys or if it's positive, but that's good to hear, man. Hey, Chance, what kind of music you listen to, man?
So right now, I will say this. I'm more rap hip hop right now, but my favorite thing to listen to is it's artist. Actually, I've got it right here. It's this artist called it's two guys, and they're called Two Friends, and they have a hour-long song of just mixes of songs of that year. So they just dropped another one called Big Booty Mix 17, and I will recommend 16 and 13. Love it.
Oh my goodness!
I'm looking it up right now.
Very easy, man. I just press play and drive. That's it. Don't worry about it.
Chance, I always heard kickers were weird, but you're backing that up, man. Tell you what.
I think we are not weird. I think we're unique.
There you go.
Is it the Two Friends Big Booty Mix Volume 17?
Two Friends, Big Booty Mix, Volume 17. Would recommend. I'm more of a 16. I haven't listened to the 17. I am going to listen to it eventually, but that's like a rap hip hop kind of thing of about an hour. Perfect road shirt music.
You know what I bet? You know what I bet a really fun song for you would be? I'm gonna guess.
Yeah. Everyone plays it. Everyone plays this.
This taunts me up, man.
Everyone plays this, expecting me.
This is history, man. You gotta understand. There's a reason for this, man. When this song happened the night we beat South Carolina for the first time.
I know.
And the story then. So
listen, guys, better turn this music off. I'm about to run through a wall, man. Let's go. Get pumped up.
The whole kickoff team made me want to run through a wall.
There we go.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my goodness, guys.
Let's go.
This is a highlight from 2012, and I'm about to run through a wall in 2020 right now.
Yes, sir, baby. Let's go.
But you got any last second thoughts for us here before we wrap the show up for the night?
Serious note, be careful out there. I am extremely really be careful out there, guys. This is no joke. Again, I said that last week. I have a mixed personality. Sometimes I'm funny, sometimes I'm goofy, and then sometimes I'm serious. But I take that kind of serious, and it might be minor right now, but keep it serious. I wouldn't say make sure 6 feet, but keep your distance, be safe, keep clean, do stuff like that. But other than that, enjoy life. Just don't do anything dumb. I've seen so many people do dumb stuff. Just don't do it. I get it. I'm in college. I see a bunch of stupid stuff happen, but just don't do anything dumb. I can't tell you how many times I just looked at people and just what are you doing?
I'm just gonna say, Chance, and this comes from everybody in Big Blue Nation. I think you saying what you just said represents the university so well, and they would be proud to have you. I mean, talk like that, seriously. So
yeah, but it's a serious matter, no one really takes it serious until it happens to one of your friends or yourself, And I've been in a situation of not this major, but a minor thing. So now I take everything serious, especially this when I'm hearing so many cases are happening in Lexington. Now they're happening in my hometown, So it's a big deal now. And like, you know, enjoy life and still do the same things you're doing, but you know, be careful, be cautious. And
hey, Chance, I got one more thing, man, before you go. Let everybody know that's watching right now what they can expect whenever they tune in to watch Kicking It with Chance.
Oh, don't worry. Next week I'm gonna have a whole plan. You tell me my time limit, and you're gonna have to tell me when my time limit's over, because I'm gonna talk over it. I guarantee you that. But I'll get a little bit into probably a daily life of myself and probably my position group next time. That would be pretty good. And how a specialist practice goes. That's pretty funny, I'll tell you that.
That's awesome.
Sounds great. We can't wait, man. We appreciate you, man.
I appreciate y'all letting me on, man.
Hey, anytime. And anytime you want to come on any of our other shows, you just let us know. We'll let you on.
I got you.
That's
I'll
just
probably
that's
get
just how
Max
it
on
rolls.
here sometime.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Cool. Well, we'll see you next week then, Chance.
All right.
Peace out. Yo, Big Blue.
All right.
Yes, sir.
That's right. See, he's still jamming. Look at that.
I can't tell. I'm gonna tell you, I still like this song. I just hear it a lot.
That's right.
It's a party, it's a party, it's a party. It's a party, it's a party, it's a party.
I love it. Love it. Thank you, Chance.
I appreciate you guys. Go Blue.
Yep. Man, next week's going to be awesome, folks. I'm telling you, Tim, it doesn't get much better than that, because we got some things on that segment right there that you're not going to find anywhere else.
That's
serious.
right, man.
Are y'all? I mean, y'all agree with me, right? I mean, both of you, do, right?
Heck yeah, man! That was a great show, and
I thought my question was dumb, and I get that, but honestly, his answer was perfect. It makes so much sense to me now, and I'm like, you know what? Yeah, we don't take all of that into consideration, and then his little like blurb about that secret rule, man. What in the world?
That's
mind
blowing. Mind blowing, man. But dude, and Duce Williams on the show, man, and Andrew Taylor. I mean, my goodness, guys, go back and watch this if you missed it. Share it with all your friends. This was awesome, man. This was just full.
Yeah, or you could just check it out on iHeartRadio. Yeah, you can do that, by the way, Tim. Yep. Did you know that? Did you know you could do that?
I did know that, man. I don't think a lot of people know that. They need to do it. They need to check it out.
Well, tell them how they can do it. Tell them where they can find it. Tell them what they can do, and tell them how many places we are, because we're everywhere, man.
Hey, Adam, you're a lot better at that than me. I mean, I can't remember all the platforms because you set them up, man. But I do know we're on iHeartRadio, which is awesome. And, I mean, we're on everything. YouTube, you finish it out for me.
All right, folks, we are on iHeartRadio. We are on Spotify. We are on iTunes. We are live right now worldwide on YouTube and Facebook. And no matter where you go, you can find us on several other apps as well, like Deezer and podcasts and whatever. It doesn't matter. No matter how you get your podcasts, we're probably there. Just look us up. We're in your top 5 spot in Wildcat Sports Talk podcasts out there. And by the way, we are Wildcat Sports Talk. I mean, you can't take that away, so it doesn't matter. But anyway, get out there, find us, and like us on every platform imaginable. If you enjoyed, let me tell you, we do have, I don't know if you all caught it tonight, but we do have commercial ability now. So if you want a commercial done, we are doing free commercials for your business during this show, just courtesy of me. Now, I'm not going to do 5,000 of them, so this is kind of like a first-come, first-served basis. If you want to be in on that and part of that, we'll run your commercial during our show a couple of times for at least the next month or so until this thing is over. So we're here to help support local business in hopes that when this is over with, you'll come out and you'll support us as well. And that's really, that's the biggest thing, Tim.
Hey, I tell you what though, Adam, we do want to say that we really appreciate Gambrel and Wilder. Those guys are really big supporters of the show. They keep us going, man. They keep us going and keep us motivated. They're big blue guys, and give them a call at Gambrel and Wilder law offices. They do a good job, man. But look, I want to thank everybody that tunes in and watches this show. All of Big Blue Nation, we love you guys. And
he's gonna knock his mic over before it's over with. I mean,
we love you guys. Hey, keep tuning in, and we're we really hope that we can keep the shows going as good as the last couple shows. Thanks, Matt. I appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
All right, Tim, we're going to send him off. As you know, with Big Blue Nation, it's always more than a feeling, brother. It's a love. It's a religion. That's how it is, man.
Yeah, it's more than a feeling, baby.
That's right. You've been listening to Wildcat Sports Talk. Peace out.
Go Big Blue.